Women coming back after no contact is not a random occurrence. It happens because certain dynamics, behaviors, and energy shifts make them realize your value and the emotional impact you had in their life. Most men panic or overreact when a woman disappears, thinking that absence means disinterest or rejection. The truth is, when handled correctly, no contact can create reflection, longing, and emotional pull that draws her back naturally. Women are highly perceptive of emotional authority, confidence, independence, and presence. When these qualities are demonstrated consistently, even in your absence, they leave a lasting impression that she cannot ignore. This video is about why women come back after no contact and the specific behaviors or traits that trigger that return. It's not about manipulation, games, or pressure. It's about demonstrating value, emotional stability, and intentionality in ways that make her notice what she has been missing. Women often leave temporarily or reduce contact for a variety of reasons. But when they encounter a man who is confident, self-directed, and emotionally composed, they begin to reflect on their own decisions and feelings. By understanding these 7 factors, you will see why she comes back, what she truly notices, and how your energy, presence, and choices play a crucial role. These principles are practical, straightforward, and aligned with modern dating dynamics. When applied intentionally, they turn periods of no contact into opportunities for attraction, respect, and emotional pull, creating a magnetic effect that draws her back naturally and consistently. 1. She notices your calm confidence. The first reason women come back after no contact is that they notice your calm confidence. Confidence is magnetic because it signals emotional stability, self-assurance, and independence, qualities women instinctively value. When you respond to her absence with composure instead of panic, neediness, or over-communication, it creates a powerful impression. Most men react to silence by texting excessively, over-explaining, or chasing validation. Women pick up on these behaviors subconsciously and often perceive them as signs of insecurity. In contrast, when a man remains calm, focused on his life, and emotionally stable, she notices the difference. Your calm confidence communicates that your emotional state is independent of her actions, which increases respect, attraction, and curiosity. During no contact, she begins to reflect on your presence, your energy, and the way interactions with you made her feel secure, valued, and excited. This reflection often leads to longing, because she recognizes the emotional impact you had without needing constant reinforcement. Calm confidence also demonstrates that you are intentional with your time and energy. She senses that your attention is valuable and that it is given deliberately, not automatically. That realization makes your absence significant. She experiences the gap you leave and begins to notice what she has been missing. Over time, this emotional pull grows stronger as she remembers the stability, humor, or assurance you provided, and contrasts it with the lack of those qualities in other men she encounters. Calm confidence is not about arrogance or dominance. It is about self-possession and composure that create subtle tension and intrigue. Women come back because your energy lingers even in absence. It leaves a lasting imprint that draws them toward reconnection. By mastering calm confidence, you ensure that your presence is remembered, your absence is impactful, and your influence continues even when communication is paused. This foundational principle sets the stage for attraction, reflection, and eventual reconnection, making her return feel natural rather than forced. Consistently embodying calm confidence during no contact increases the likelihood that she will come back, thinking about the qualities and emotional resonance she misses. 2. She sees your independence. The second reason women come back after no contact is that they see your independence. Independence is highly attractive because it signals self-sufficiency, purpose, and emotional authority. When a man maintains his life, goals, social connections, and personal growth during a period of no contact. It communicates that he is not dependent on her attention or validation. Most men make the mistake of becoming reactive when a woman withdraws, texting constantly, seeking reassurance, or rearranging their life to get her attention. Women notice this behavior subconsciously, and it reduces attraction. In contrast, a man who continues living fully, pursuing his goals, and enjoying his independence creates contrast. She begins to recognize the value of your presence because it is not automatic or taken for granted. Your independence also allows her to reflect on what she is missing. As she observes or imagines your self-directed life, she becomes aware of the calm, confident energy you bring to interactions. That realization naturally triggers curiosity and longing. Independence demonstrates that your happiness and fulfillment are not contingent on her presence, which paradoxically increases her desire to reconnect. It signals that your energy, attention, and connection are intentional and meaningful. During no contact, women often begin to notice patterns. How composed, self-sufficient, and consistent you are in your absence. They start reflecting on moments where your presence brought excitement, reassurance, and value. This reflection amplifies longing because they sense that the qualities you embody are rare and not easily replaced. Independence also reinforces your emotional authority. By living intentionally and focusing on your priorities, you prevent yourself from appearing needy, reactive, or desperate, behaviors that often push women away. Instead, your composed independence turns no contact into a subtle yet powerful psychological tool, allowing her to feel the gap you leave and the emotional resonance of your presence. Over time, this creates a magnetic effect. She misses not just your attention, but the stability, confidence, and purposeful energy that you bring into her life. When women return after no contact, it is often because they recognize the contrast between your independent, self-directed life and the absence of that unique energy in their daily world. Maintaining independence ensures that your value is clear, your presence is memorable, and your absence is impactful, making reconnection both natural and compelling. 3. She remembers your emotional stability. The third reason women come back after no contact is that they remember your emotional stability. Emotional stability is a rare and highly attractive quality because it communicates strength, composure, and reliability. Women are naturally drawn to men who remain calm under pressure, handle conflict thoughtfully, and manage their emotions independently. In modern dating, where drama, overreactions, and emotional dependence are common, a stable man immediately stands out. During no contact, she has time to reflect on the way your presence affected her emotionally. She recalls the calm energy, confidence, and reassurance you provided, which contrasts sharply with uncertainty or instability she may have experienced elsewhere. Emotional stability creates a sense of security and comfort, even in retrospect. She begins to notice how interactions with you made her feel grounded, respected, and valued, and that reflection intensifies longing. Stability is not just about keeping your cool. It is also about consistency and reliability in behavior and communication. Women subconsciously track patterns of emotional steadiness, and when they recognize that you consistently exhibit control and composure, it enhances your perceived value. No contact magnifies this effect because your absence allows her to fully process the difference between your emotional presence and the unpredictability of others. She starts to replay positive experiences with you in her mind, remembering moments where your calm guidance or supportive energy stood out. That internal reflection often leads to desire to reconnect, because she begins to crave the stability, confidence, and composure that you uniquely provide. Emotional stability also reinforces respect. When a man is composed and self-directed, a woman feels drawn to him without needing to manipulate or pressure him. She recognizes that your attention and energy are deliberate, which makes them more valuable. Over time, this recognition deepens attachment and increases the likelihood of her returning. Women are naturally attracted to men who provide emotional balance because it signals maturity, reliability, and strength. By maintaining your stability during no contact, you turn absence into a strategic tool that highlights your value, increases reflection, and fosters emotional pull. She comes back not because of pressure, but because she remembers and misses the calm, composed, and impactful presence you bring into her life. Emotional stability ensures that your absence is noticed, and your return is eagerly anticipated. 4. She notices your intentionality. The fourth reason women come back after no contact is that they notice your intentionality. Intentionality means acting with purpose, clarity, and direction, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally to situations. Women are instinctively drawn to men who make deliberate choices, manage their time effectively, and engage with presence and focus. During no contact, your deliberate absence communicates more than words ever could. It signals that your energy and attention are valuable and given only when appropriate. Most men fail in modern dating by reacting impulsively, texting excessively, or over-explaining themselves when a woman withdraws. Those behaviors create dependency, diminish respect, and reduce attraction. In contrast, intentionality communicates authority and self-respect. By stepping back intentionally and focusing on your life, you demonstrate that your attention is earned, not automatically given. This subtle message resonates deeply in her subconscious, triggering reflection and longing. She begins to analyze her own behavior and feelings, realizing the contrast between your composed, purposeful energy and the chaos or uncertainty she experiences elsewhere. Intentionality also reinforces your emotional independence. She senses that your happiness, focus, and daily life are not contingent on her actions or approval, which paradoxically increases her desire to reconnect. During no contact, this quality becomes amplified. She starts replaying interactions in her mind, remembering the deliberate way you communicated, the thoughtful energy you contributed, and the calm authority you displayed. Those reflections create emotional pull because they highlight qualities that are rare and valuable in men she encounters. Furthermore, intentionality prevents common mistakes that reduce attraction, such as overreacting, chasing, or acting impulsively when she reaches out. By showing that your energy is purposeful, you maintain intrigue and respect while allowing her space to reflect on what she misses. Over time, your intentional presence, combined with absence, creates anticipation, curiosity, and emotional attachment. She does not just miss your attention, she misses the clarity, composure, and deliberate energy that you consistently bring. That is why women come back after no contact. They sense that your energy is intentional, valuable, and not easily replaceable, making your return meaningful and magnetic. Intentionality ensures that absence becomes a tool for reflection and attraction rather than a source of panic or neediness, solidifying your influence and emotional impact in her mind. 5. She remembers the experiences you created. The fifth reason women come back after no contact is that they remember the experiences you created. Women are highly attuned to how interactions make them feel, often more than what is said or done. Memorable experiences, whether a deep conversation, shared laughter, adventurous moments, or moments of emotional connection, leave lasting impressions that linger even in your absence. In modern dating, where interactions are often routine or superficial, a man who creates meaningful experiences immediately stands out. During no contact, she has the mental space to replay these moments, and that reflection triggers longing. She remembers the excitement, joy, and emotional resonance that you brought into her life, and the contrast between those experiences and what she experiences daily becomes noticeable. This reflection creates a psychological pull toward you as she begins to crave the positive energy, attention, and presence you provided. Memorable experiences are not about extravagance or material gestures. They are about emotional impact, engagement, and authenticity. When you consistently create moments where she feels valued, appreciated, or emotionally stimulated, you leave a blueprint in her mind that she naturally recalls during your absence. Over time, these memories build attachment because they remind her of the unique energy and emotional connection you bring, qualities that are difficult to replicate with others. Women begin to feel the absence of that emotional resonance and seek it again, which explains why they often come back. The experiences you create also amplify her curiosity and desire. When she reflects on shared moments, she notices subtleties, your calm confidence, attentiveness, humor, and stability that differentiate you from other men. These reflections create anticipation for future interactions because she wants to re-experience the positive emotions associated with you. Memorable experiences also reinforce your perceived value. She realizes that your presence is impactful and that the energy you bring is not something she can take for granted. During no contact, this realization grows stronger as she contrasts the emotional richness of her memories with her current life. In essence, women come back because they are drawn to the feelings and experiences that you uniquely create. By consistently building meaningful, emotionally engaging moments, you ensure that your absence becomes noticeable, her reflection deepens, and her desire to reconnect intensifies naturally and consistently. 6. She feels the gap you left. The sixth reason women come back after no contact is that they feel the gap you left in their life. Absence is powerful because it creates space for reflection and emotional recognition. When a man is no longer constantly available, it allows her to notice the unique energy, attention, and stability you brought that she may have taken for granted. Most men fail to understand this principle. They fear distance and try to fill every moment with messages, calls, or attention, which diminishes attraction. In contrast, by stepping back intentionally, you allow her to experience the contrast between your presence and your absence. This gap triggers reflection on the value, comfort, and emotional resonance you provided. Women begin to replay interactions in their mind, noticing subtleties such as your calm confidence, attentiveness, humor, and emotional stability. The absence of these qualities creates longing because she realizes they are rare and impactful. Feeling the gap also strengthens emotional attachment. She starts to understand that your presence brought balance, clarity, and positive energy that is now missing, which naturally draws her back. The gap you leave highlights your value without manipulation. It makes her recognize what she is missing and why your presence mattered. In addition, this principle reinforces respect and desire. When she senses that your attention is not automatic, that your time and energy are purposeful, the emotional pull becomes stronger. She begins to compare her current experiences with the memories of your interactions, increasing anticipation for future connection. Feeling the gap also creates a subtle psychological tension which enhances attraction. She feels curiosity, longing, and reflection simultaneously, which are natural drivers for reconnection. Over time, this experience ensures that absence becomes a strategic tool rather than a liability. She comes back because the void you created makes her emotionally aware of your value, the experiences you provided, and the stability you embodied. By intentionally allowing her to feel your absence while maintaining calm, independence, and consistency, you maximize reflection, desire, and attachment. Feeling the gap is therefore a cornerstone in why women return after no contact. It turns absence into opportunity, strengthens emotional pull, and makes your presence memorable and magnetic. 7. She realizes your value. The seventh and final reason women come back after no contact is that they realize your value. Value is not about material wealth, looks, or superficial traits. It is the combination of your confidence, independence, emotional stability, intentionality, and the memorable experiences you create. When a woman reflects on your absence, she starts to recognize the unique impact you had on her life. She notices the calm, composed energy you brought, the security and reliability of your presence, and the emotional resonance that made her feel understood, appreciated, and alive. In modern dating, men often fail to establish real value because they chase attention, react impulsively, or lack consistency. By maintaining your composure, pursuing your life goals, and engaging intentionally, you signal that your worth is inherent and not dependent on her validation. This realization creates natural longing. She begins to compare her current experiences with what she remembers from being with you, and she notices that those qualities are rare and meaningful. Understanding your value also triggers reflection and curiosity. She evaluates her feelings and decisions, often recognizing that your absence reveals what she truly misses. This internal reflection deepens emotional attachment, desire, and anticipation. When a woman realizes your value, your absence becomes significant, and your eventual presence is highly anticipated. She doesn't return because of pressure or manipulation. She comes back because she has recognized the qualities, energy, and emotional impact you bring that are hard to replicate. Value is reinforced by everything you consistently demonstrate: your confidence, independence, stability, intentionality, memorable experiences, and calm presence. These elements combine to create a lasting impression that lingers even when you are not physically present. Over time, this realization makes her miss you deeply, respect you more, and feel a natural pull to reconnect. Mastering the demonstration of value ensures that your absence works in your favor, your presence is memorable, and women feel drawn to you emotionally and mentally. It is the culmination of all the prior factors: confidence, independence, emotional stability, intentionality, memorable experiences, and absence, working together to make her reflect, desire, and ultimately come back. By embodying these qualities consistently, you create a magnetic presence that turns periods of no contact into opportunities for attraction, reconnection, and deepened emotional pull. Women come back after no contact because absence creates reflection, longing, and recognition of the unique value you bring. The combination of calm confidence, independence, emotional stability, intentionality, memorable experiences, feeling the gap, and realized value leaves a lasting imprint on her mind and emotions. When you handle no contact correctly, it transforms from a moment of uncertainty into a powerful tool for attraction and reconnection. During no contact, she begins to notice what she truly misses. Your confidence signals self-assurance and composure. Your independence demonstrates purpose and self-direction, and your emotional stability provides security and calm. She recalls the deliberate choices you made, the intentional energy you brought, and the memorable experiences that made interactions with you meaningful and unique. The gap you leave becomes significant, allowing her to feel the absence of your presence and reflect on its impact. This reflection naturally amplifies desire and emotional pull. Most men fail because they react impulsively, over-communicate, or chase attention, diminishing their perceived value. By contrast, a man who remains composed, intentional, and self-directed demonstrates authority and emotional intelligence, making his presence unforgettable and his absence impactful. Over time, she recognizes your unique value, feels the void you leave, and is drawn back naturally. Understanding these principles ensures that periods of no contact strengthen attraction rather than diminish it. Your absence becomes a tool for reflection, emotional pull, and anticipation, while your presence remains memorable, magnetic, and meaningful. When applied consistently, these dynamics create a natural and powerful reconnection, showing that the right energy, confidence, and value cannot be replaced, explaining why women come back after no contact.